Hey, what's up, y'all? CP from Blue Eclipse Productions. And before I start this video, I need to give a disclaimer and a warning. If you're under the age of 18, do not watch this video. Don't watch it. Just, watch one of my other videos. Don't worry about it. If you are over the age of 18, what I suggest, or not suggest, what I'm telling you flat out, is that this video is meant for educational purposes only. It is not meant for you to go out and use drugs. It doesn't insinuate drug use. It's simply to have a discussion, okay? So if you find the topic insensitive for your tastes, then don't watch this video, all right? But for those of you who are still with me, what up? Let's talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Reason why I haven't talked about it and I kind of avoided it is because I don't know, man. Like I've had hang-ups where I was worried about family and friends and like, damn, what if they see this video? What are they gonna think? How are they gonna feel? And it's like, you know what, man? I'm grown. I've been grown for a very long time. And it's not to sound condescending, it's just a fact. Like, I'm grown, and I think it's one of those things that needs to be discussed. You know what I'm saying? Especially on an educational level to enlighten people, because not everybody really understands. And a lot of people have misconceptions, and it would just be the world would be a much better place if we handled these topics as they came and talked about it like mature adults. You know what I'm saying? But if we keep avoiding these conversations and ducking and dodging them, it doesn't really help anybody, and all it does is provoke confusion and hysteria, in my opinion. All right, so without further delay, I'm going to talk about two drugs in particular that seem to be intertwined with music prevalently: alcohol and herb. Marijuana, Mary Jane, you know what the fuck it is. Now, if you were expecting me to talk about Oxycontin, heroin, cocaine, crack, Molly, MDMA, Xanax, fucking acid, shrooms, anything along those lines, you are sorely fucking mistaken. I'm not doing that. And if you're doing those kind of drugs, best of luck to you, buddy. Because that shit can get you into a world of trouble if you're not careful. All right? And it's not only because I understand what it is, but I've seen it firsthand, and it's not a pretty thing. You know what I'm saying? If you can't stop using that kind of drug, then you may just want to bite the bullet and just see if you can get some professional help. All right? But now, for real, further ado, let's talk about this alcohol and herb thing, man, because this is important. All right? First of all, when it comes to herb, it comes to weed, right? It seemed like maybe not in the early days of hip-hop, but definitely during the 90s and all the way up till today, it seemed like everybody and their cousin is talking about, yo, man, I smoke every day, smoke all day, every day, And I mean, that's true. You got some people that smoke, but I'm here to tell you, a lot of that shit is some bullshit. When people talk about smoking, it's not what you think it is. For example, I'll give you a perfect example. One of my favorite rappers, all right, and I don't want to say his name because I don't want to try him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna leave it for you to figure out on your own. Homies, some of his best songs are about smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? And he is, like, I'm at the studio, man, I'm smoking, you know what I'm saying? We working on some music, this and that. But in another video, he was frustrated about something. I think he was frustrated with another one of his artists, or artists that he is trying to introduce them to the game and walk them through the door. And basically, what he said was like, yo, man, when you come up in here and we're working on some music, like, you need to be on point. You can't be coming in here smoking and drinking and playing video games and bullshitting. You need to handle your business, and then when it's done, then you can smoke and drink or whatever. And that is the truth. You want to know how I know? Because that's what I used to do, and that's what I don't do anymore. I still drink once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get lifted a little bit. But when it comes to producing music, or when it comes to writing rhymes as a rapper, oh, you better believe that you need to be fucking sober when you do that shit. Now, I know there's some people that are gonna comment and be like, oh, CP, you don't know how to handle your shit, man. You got a low tolerance. Fine, you can say that shit, but I'm just telling you from my personal experience to help those out there trying to imitate this lifestyle. And what I'm telling you is, first of all, when it comes to herb, when you smoke this shit, all right, if you've smoked before, then you understand the way I'm describing it. It's one of those drugs where you pay a lot more attention to detail. Like, you know, things that you see tend to be more vibrant and more colorful. Your imagination tends to trail off into different ideas. You become a lot more analytical. You tend to analyze things. Food tastes a hell of a lot better. Music sounds a lot better. You know, movies, conversations with people. Unless they're fucking up your high, and I can't stand people like that. It's like, yo, just fucking chill. Because if you can't be high around somebody where you can chill, don't even smoke at all. Because that shit'll just ruin it. You gotta be around cool people. But anyway, like, so when you're on this type of drug, and say you go to sit down to make music, this is what used to happen to me a lot, and this is why I don't do it when I'm trying to produce seriously. Because you'll sit there, and at first it's great. You'll be inspired. You'll say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to play this or that, and you'll get ideas, and you start getting patterns in your head, and you'll start doing it. You're like, yeah, man, all right, this shit's jamming. You know what I'm saying? So then you cut on everything, you start recording, you start setting your shit up, you know what I'm saying? You got your bass line, you start working on your drums, you know what I'm saying? You got all your elements in there, and you kicking back like, hell yeah, that's that shit. You know what I'm saying? You spark up another one, yeah. That's that shit right there, man. We'll fucking kill these niggas with that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You got your drink, you like, fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everything's lovely. So you wake up the next day like, you know what I'm saying? Because you've been doing that shit all night. You're like, you get up, you know what I'm saying? But you still remember that song. You like, let me hear that song. Maybe that'll cheer me up. You know what I'm saying? That shit was riding yesterday. It was tight. You cut that shit on, and you're like, wait, did I do this? This sounds like some bullshit. And that's exactly what happens when you smoke, dog. Rare is it ever an occasion where you sit down to make something when you're high, and then you wake up the next day and it still sounds good. It's gonna sound like the worst bullshit ever, because again, when you're smoking, music sounds better already as it is. So what you're supposed to do, and what a lot of producers and rappers neglect to tell you, is, like I said, they give off this persona like, oh, I smoke, I drink, I smoke. They probably do, but when it comes to recording their songs, these motherfuckers are as sober as a priest. Okay, because if they bring some bullshit back to their label and it's all sloppy and sounding like shit, and they do not want to risk the shit going on the shelf, they don't want to risk all the repercussions of not actually producing good music and wasting the budget. And if you're on your own, like independent like me and a lot of other people, you want to give your best. You don't want to be bullshitting and putting out some sloppy shit. So what you want to do, and again, I'm not telling you to use drugs, but if you happen to be a pothead, what you do is you sit down completely sober. Now, you can have a beer or two. That's all right. If you have 12 beers, that's just as bad as smoking and then trying to do some music. It's going to come out terrible, okay? Because that means you got too much ethyl alcohol in your system. And that's right, alcohol is also a drug. The main component of it, whether it's wine, whether it's beer, whether it's liquor, is ethyl alcohol. And when you consume that shit, that's where you get your buzz from. That's where you get that down feeling and you lose your balance and all that other stuff. But anyway, if you sit down and you take your time and you do it while you're sober, and it sounds good, like while you're sober, you're like, yeah, okay, all right, you know what I'm saying? You're doing your drums, you know what I'm saying? You got your pianos, you got everything in there, you got a groove going, you got your bass line, you know what I'm saying? Then you could kick back, spark up one, smoke, and be like, damn, that motherfucker sounds real good now that I'm high. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the process works. You handle your business first, and then if you want to partake in some shit and you choose to do that, then you do it. But you don't put the cart before the horse. Sobriety's the horse. Kicking back in the cart is being high. Alright? Now again, I'm not talking about all these other crazy drugs. I know some rock and roll dudes, they taking acid, they done this, they done that. Again, I can't speak on that kind of shit. Because, you know, it's just not a good idea to fuck with that kind of stuff. But in terms of alcohol and drinking, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to your production, just handle your business first, and then when you got everything done, that's when you smoke and enjoy or whatever you particularly want to do. Alright? Now again, don't do drugs, okay? Like they say on South Park. But if you're the person that does it, that's the order you need to do it in. And if you're gonna be drinking, I highly suggest you do not fucking drink and drive, because you will fucking fall asleep at the wheel, or you'll hit a pole, or you'll start speeding. There's a bunch of reasons why you shouldn't be drinking and driving, especially with DUI and everything else. It's stupid. Don't do it. I'm just saying that, even though it doesn't have anything to do with music. Don't fucking drink and drive either. But yeah, man, that's my feelings on it. If you have any questions, you can hit me up at Blue Eclipse Productions at gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter, which is @Blue Eclipse Pro, and I will respond to your questions as best as I possibly can. But yo, CP from Blue Eclipse Productions, and I'm outie.